SportsTownChicago.com. O'Hare, broadcasting live from Sportstown, Chicago. Broadcast home for your Windy City Bulls and Chicago Dogs. We're in a league of our own. Now, here's your SportstownChicago.com update.
It is 3:15. This is your SportstownChicago.com update, brought to you by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, come to beonair.com. National reaction to the class has been positive. NFL.com graded the Bears A-, praising the team's focus on speed, toughness, and scheme fit, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. With the draft being over, Chicago has shifted their attention to rookie minicamp and undrafted free agent evaluations as preparations begin for training camp later this summer. On the court, the focus turns to youth development and draft positioning. Chicago holds favorable odds in the NBA draft lottery with multiple second-round picks acquired during a busy trade deadline that saw the Bulls move several veterans and severely commit to a full rebuild. Left-hander Matthew Boyd got the start for Chicago, making his second appearance since returning from the injured list, faced a Padres team that owns one of the best records in the National League at 18-9 entering last night's matchup. They lost 9-7. Despite recent setbacks, the Cubs offense has been strong early in the season, while bullpen depth continues to be an area of focus due to injuries testing the pitching staff. On the south side, the White Sox hosted the Los Angeles Angels at Wright Field. The Sox entered the night at 11-17. With a 9-8 win, they will move to 12-17, which is fourth in the AL Central as they continue to search for consistency early in the season. Tonight's game experienced a brief delay, but it is scheduled to play once conditions clear. Blackhawks are officially in off-season mode after a rebuilding year. All eyes are on the young star Connor Bedard, who finishes the season with 75 points in 69 games, continuing to establish himself as the franchise cornerstone heading into year 4. And Illinois continues off-season adjustments after its Final Four run. Star wing Andrej Stojakovic has entered the NBA draft process while maintaining college eligibility, allowing him to receive feedback before making a final decision on returning to Champaign. This has been your SportstownChicago.com update, brought to you by the Illinois.
You've heard the final whistle. You've seen the scoreboard. The conversation is just getting started. Welcome to the fifth quarter, where we break it all down, analyze every play, and give you the perspective that goes beyond the game.
You have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown.
Oh, that first pitch crushing!
Here comes Chris Paul. The lob. Oh, what a monster jam by DeAndre Jordan. Boise State for the win. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State. Whoa, the Tostitos Fiesta.
Game might be over, but we're not. Opinions, hot takes, and everything they didn't say on the broadcast. This is the fifth quarter.
Welcome into the fifth quarter, everybody. I am your host, Andrew DeBrooker. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday. We are in for a very, very special show today. We have even warned the people outside that about some severe noise complaints that may happen on later. We are today going to be talking about draft winners and draft losers, along with touching in on the Chicago Bears draft, as they had a very productive draft that is being looked at very favorably. And then later, we are going to have a deep rivalry discussion on probably the greatest rivalry in all of sport, in my personal opinion. Those who've listened to the show know I am an Ohio State Buckeye fan. But with me is my resident Michigan fan for the day. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. I am Nick Stevenson, and this should be all you need to listen to.
Oh, boo! Get him out of here! I don't want to do this anymore.
The number one Michigan fan, self-proclaimed, of course, in the all of the land, Nick Stevenson, hosts some good old-fashioned podcast show, student and alumni of this illustrious schooling place. We go to school over here, Illinois Media School. If you want a career media, check out beonair.com. That's beonair.com.
Absolutely.
But for everything else, there's MasterCard, and I'm Nick. We're going to talk about Michigan football. We're going to talk about the draft. It's going to be great.
It's going to be so exciting. And, of course, since things may get a little tense over here, as normally you have to hire an SEC ref when you're doing a Big Ten championship game.
I did actually attend the school. I did.
We have our Alabama alumni, Mr. Adam Slim Schneider.
Absolutely.
Please stand up. Please stand
Yes.
up.
Well, there's a reason why I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It's like a little fist pump in the air. I think that's all.
That's good.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Do you want me to just kind of?
Yeah. Boom, boom, firepower. It. That's how
I like
we'll
that
look
reference.
at it. Yeah.
The
Little night
radio
at the
equivalent
museum.
of stand up, right? There we go.
Yeah.
I want a clean, solid fight, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because this A represents a lot to the SEC. It
That's
just
right.
means more.
Well, all right.
Mean more.
All right. Don't turn us on you before we even get there now.
No, I know. I'm saving that for later.
I mean, it's the only thing they got going on. So
Yeah.
come on.
He's like, do you guys remember Nick Saban?
Hey,
We're like, what about
I'm not one of those fans. But we'll get into that later, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first kind of thing that we wanted to talk about, I think we should start with our Chicago Bears, talking about their draft class and everything that has gone on with them. A lot of people very excited about the offseason moves that they've made. I personally had to explain to a lot of people why I preferred Dylan Tiedemann to Emmanuel McNeil Warren at that pick there at 25 for the Chicago Bears. Honestly, I have a lot of thoughts on the Chicago Bears and their kind of draft that really went down the other night. I think that picking late is not something I'm used to as somebody that follows the Bears. Getting to worry about a pick that's in the later sort of round and focus on value is not something that I'm typically attuned to.
It is fun though, right? It is nice.
It's very nice when you go, oh wow, he's a steal based on value,
Right.
Because nobody else took him. That's normally not the case. Normally, I'm like, oh, the Bears took that guy.
I mean, for the value of pick that the Bears got for Tiedemann, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
That's, I would say, not exactly a steal, but just the fact that he was there was impressive. I'm surprised no one was like, hey, this Oregon kid's looking pretty solid. If you look at the highlights, I mean, he was pretty good. He transferred from Purdue over to Oregon, and that game just blew up. That's why Oregon had such a good defense. That's part of the reason.
I call that pick of Tiananmen square.
It is. You're absolutely right. It's just average. Like it's the right move. Everybody thought we were taking a safety, so we took a safety, and everybody gets to be like, "Yay!" and applaud afterwards and be like, "Great job, Bears! We took a safety. I'm so glad. I'm so happy for you. Everything's so wonderful." They then, I get just to kind of move off Tiananmen into more of their later round draft picks. They then kind of did the thing I didn't want them to do in the second round. I was really hoping that they didn't find themselves pressured to take a center or to take an offensive lineman in a class that I felt was kind of weaker than it normally typically is.
Yeah.
But they did end up taking center Logan Jones at 57 out of the University of Iowa. I do think he's really great, and he can handle run concepts absolutely phenomenally. If that's one thing the Big Ten loves to do, it is run the football. And I can't not talk myself into a lineman wearing a Iowa Hawkeye helmet. It's just something about it. I feel like two appears in the Senior Bowl every year pre-draft, where I'm like, I've never heard of you before. And they're like, he's 6'6" and 325 pounds, and he runs a 4.6, and he's just a massive individual. And you go, oh, and of course you're going to go play at the next level. So it's definitely interesting. Nick, how'd you think about the Bears kind of going offensive lineman early for the
Okay,
draft?
as you say, you can see that I'm a Michigan man at heart, of course. So I followed the Lions pretty closely. They took an offensive tackle, Blake Miller, out of Clemson. And if there's not a safer pick as a 5-year starter, offensive lineman out of Clemson, they run a physical program down there. I know they may not be winning a bunch of football games, but when you find good, solid picks in the draft, it's not always going to equate to a national title winning team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, of course, look at Ohio State. I mean, you got to give props to Ryan Day. If you're going to get draft classes and people to commit to the university, and he's popping out NFL players like it's his job. I mean, it is his job to make NFL players.
Oh, absolutely.
With the whole wide receiver.
But sorry, let me go back to the Bears pick there. I feel that it's good, man. You got a new quarterback. we saw the greatness that is there in Caleb at the end of that season last year. We were all here when it was going nuts, and that crazy touchdown at the end of that game. It was good old fashioned time.
That was a beauty.
Oh, it was sick. I am so excited for Bears football. It's fun to be like, hey, I'm not only looking forward to the draft. As a Lions fan, a lot of times the only good part about the NFL season is April, you know, because you're like, oh, hope is in the air.
The draft is the Super Bowl.
And
Yeah.
then by the third week of the year, you're like, oh, when's April?
I mean, I'll be honest.
I'm okay with it.
What would put the Bears fans, what would make them happier is if they went to Arlington Heights, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
But what confused me the most is that they picked the tight end at 3, at the third pick.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but one theory I have is that he's a blocking tight end. So you're essentially drafting a 6th O-line
Right.
for this. And then you can have Cole Kmet and then Colston Loveland go out there. But at the end of the day, Colston Loveland's also more of a blocking tight end than a receiving tight end, which then leaves you to one receiving tight end in Colston Loveland. It's still like, you get what I'm saying? Trying to say?
Right.
Yeah, I think
He is a Michigan man, I might add.
and something that I have to do when it comes to the NFL, I don't know if you have to do the same thing as well. I have to ignore where you went to college because it hurts my soul to say this, there are a few Michigan players in the NFL where I'm like
about to give you a 5-yard penalty.
Where I'm like,
I'm kidding.
you know what?
Oh, definitely.
Like I actually like you as an individual, and it's very tough because then they're like, yeah, University of Michigan, and I'm like, I remember, but you're not wearing the helmet, so I can I can keep it away from my brain.
That. Yeah, like whenever they do and today the offense of the game, they always do the little promos with the guys, the football players. They're like throwing the football up in the air, and he's like, "Oh, the Ohio State University."
And you're like, "Oh, dang, I like that guy."
I know. I was like, I used to like him, or like I know I shouldn't have to be like. It's funny, but like you said, it shouldn't matter where you go to. It doesn't really matter where you go to college when it comes to putting together a decent NFL team, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it is fun for for shoots and giggles, for over here where we're playing this type of stuff. But I think that if you can find value in the draft later on in the draft, 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds, that's where you're going to find your keepers.
Absolutely, and I think. Kind of to explain to you, Adam, because I think a lot of Bears fans are asking the same kind of question. So you're asking is why grab him in the 3rd round? That really would be my only gripe. It would be like a value sort of selection.
Yeah.
But the Bears run 13 personnel just about as much as any other team in the league. The only team that runs more 13 personnel than us is Sean McVay, and we'll kind of talk about them and their tight end choices later. Even though, of course, they took a Buckeye that I was very happy about. There's yes. So I think that is mainly the case. We've seen that. I mean, Ben Johnson's in total control, in my personal opinion, and he can develop well.
I agree, completely agree with that. I was very frustrated when you guys took him from Detroit, but he's such a great coach. He was going somewhere, had to be in the division, so that's kind of fun.
Thank you, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. It's going to be gay. It's going to be great rivalry and spectacular talking on the 5th quarter for years to come. I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. But I do kind of think that when you are thinking of players that are going to affect the team in short term, like are they going to start next year? Are they going to start the year after that? I think the first 3 rounds you have to have at least a 60-70% chance that these are going to be starters, in my mind.
Yeah.
So maybe anywhere past the 3rd round, but I think it might be I think you'll see these tight end packages, like you said. We might even be, you heard it here, I think we'll be in the top 10% of tight end packages ran in the offensive play.
Big 13 personnel over here in Chicago. But kind of going on what you were saying there is like, I think one of the most frustrating things for me when I watch the NFL draft is teams that draft for need right now.
Yeah.
I understand drafting for we need this guy right now. I don't understand kind of derailing the consensus, and I know there's not
like Ty Simpson in LA, like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Are we just saying what everybody's thinking?
Yeah,
what the heckaroo?
Hey, you know what? I think it'll be that's a great transition into kind of the losers of the draft.
Ooh, this is the best segment of all.
the first one I want to talk about, the Rams.
Why?
Not that I don't think. Let me put this out there. Not that I don't think Ty Simpson could be like an immediate difference maker, but he's going to sit. not that I don't think he's going to be a good eventual NFL quarterback, and Les Snead may look like a genius for doing this in the future, but you left a lot of Rams fans wondering, like, what if that should absolutely not happen. I was, like, kind of, as I mentioned earlier, mystified by them taking Max Clare in the second round as well, because, I mean, they have Colby Parkinson. You drafted Terrence Ferguson last year. I understand we just talked about the fact that they are the only team that probably runs more, 3 personnel or 13 personnel than the Bears, but Max Clare isn't a guy to help you win right now. And you're a team that was in the NFC Championship game and decided that you guys weren't really going to build towards immediate impact. Like, my favorite pick was Keegan Trost. He is a right tackle who might push Warren McClendon this upcoming season. And the undeniable upside of Max Clare and Ty Simpson, like, kind of pushes the draft grade up a little bit, I guess, but I still was really just not happy with anything like that.
The thing about Ty Simpson is, like, you could have gotten him later. You definitely could have gotten him later.
Yeah.
Or the Cardinals were just bluffing. Because from what reports were saying is that the Cardinals were very interested in taking up Ty Simpson. But was that just a big bluff? Or was there a general interest? I think that's 2 big questions that I have for the Cardinals that made the Rams kind of go up and get Ty Simpson that early. Because if the Cardinals were just bluffing, that was genius. That was a genius. That was
If they were just
genius.
bluffing,
Seriously.
then my hat's off to you, good sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, exactly.
you convinced everybody pre-draft.
That was
We
wild.
are
That'd be
trading.
sick.
We are trading back in at like 28, 29. The later rounds to get Ty Simpson.
That'd be my sleeper winner of the draft if that's the case.
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
like that'd be an epic bluff.
if you want to, I mean, I don't want to talk about the Cardinals draft because
Why,
they-
Jeremiah
they
Love?
frustrate me so much. That entire franchise is poisoned from the top.
If I may play devil's advocate for just 1 second. Okay, so here's my only reason in my mind. I'm thinking, okay, what is the reason why I take Ty Simpson? Number one, they've done some deep research and they look in next year. They don't see a quarterback that they like, right? And number two, I saw that thing. You've probably seen it. That Matthew Stafford is such a brainiac of a quarterback. He's been playing for so long that him and McVay, the plays that they make are just like ridiculously long. So maybe Ty is getting this early, and they're like really planning on like literally developing him and trying to go with like a straight Yoda Luke Skywalker type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta blow up that first Death Star first.
They're like, listen,
Don't kiss your sister.
sit. Yes. They said, Ty, sit down right there. Okay.
But he is a Thai fighter.
No.
So, okay, my bad. We'll go.
No, I like that. I like it.
My bad. Well, let's get back to you.
Yeah. Just
Meanwhile, back in the Hall of Justice.
meanwhile, back on the other side of the
Back on the
table.
Yavin 4.
I want to bring up one more team that I kind of thought was a huge loser in this year's draft class.
Lay it on us.
I don't.
Can we guess? Can we guess what we
Sure.
think
I have 3, but I want to pick one of them particularly here.
All right. Well, then just lay it on us because I think Adam said we're coming up on our break.
Yes.
soon.
I think it's the 49ers.
49ers.
Yes. They moved out of the first round to pick up draft capital. They received calls for the 33rd pick, a bunch. There was teams trading up all day. They opted not to trade it, and then they definitely should have, because then they used it on Deshaun Stribling, who is a consensus 3rd round prospect that I didn't really like that very much. I don't mind the Romello Height pick, even though that he is incredibly old. He's like 30 some odd years old. And then Kalen Black in the 3rd round. You drafted a guy that didn't get invited to the combine. Granted, I think he should have gotten invited to the combine in the 3rd round and passed on running backs. It just seemed like irresponsible. John Lynch then went up and kind of talked about how, people don't understand how good our draft is. The last 20 picks, I feel like, if I'm remembering the stat correctly, have not signed on with the 49ers again.
Oh,
And you can't have a sports thing without criticizing the Seahawks, right? Because they won the Super Bowl, so might as well criticize the Seahawks, right?
Okay. Might as well do
Jadarian
that.
Price at 32?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, my
And the
God.
running back, he better be great.
We screamed
better be
about
good.
that.
He better be good, right?
Yeah,
He better
real
start.
But when we come back, we're going to talk more positively, talk about some winners, talk about maybe some AFC North teams that I thought did really well, maybe some NFC North teams that I thought did really well.
Forward on the field.
Absolutely. And that's all when we come back right here on the fifth quarter.
I sound a little cocky, but I think we're legends in Chicago. We really are.
SportsTownChicago.com.
We're all looking to save $1 these days, right? Well, Pino's Old Man is the perfect spot for pizza lovers with the $10 and under menu that'll make your taste buds and your wallet happy. Fried chicken sandwiches, just $6. It's so good I had to start working there just to eat it every day. That's not all. Grab 2 large one-topping pizzas with extra cheesy goodness and a 2-liter soda for just $26.30. Plus, order online and get 5% off exclusive deals. Family owned and operated for 30 years. Open 7 days a week and until 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Check them out on the corner of North Main and Willoughby. Pino's on Main.
Oh my God, I need some Pookie's crack cake. Pookie's crack cakes.
Yeah, girl. You ain't never heard about the best crack cakes in Chicago?
They're right there in the Bronzeville area, right at 105 East 47th Street.
They're moist, delicious, premium homemade cakes made fresh daily. One bite and you're addicted.
They got the caramel cake, butter pecan praline, and red velvet. Ooh, and don't forget the strawberry lemonade and a chocolate Oreo dream.
They're open Wednesday through Saturdays, 11 to 6 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they're closed Mondays and Tuesdays.
Early arrival is highly recommended. First come, first serve. They give out tickets at 10 a.m.
Just mention you heard it right here on Real Girl Talk Radio, and you'll get a free butter cookie with your purchase.
Make sure you follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Pookie's Crack Cakes.
Girl, where you going?
I gotta go get my crack cake.
Let's go. Looking for a great bargain? Want to find cool collectibles? Need to get fresh fruit and vegetables for the family? Come on down to Swamporama. 3 great locations, 42nd and Ashland in Chicago, Melrose Park, and Alpha, with hundreds of indoor and outdoor vendors selling clothing, tools, electronics, and much, much more. Have stuff for sale? Become a Swamporama vendor and turn your hidden treasure into cash. Visit their website for market days, hours, and vendor information. Go to swap-o-rama.com. Swamporama, the first leg in flea markets.
There's only one place to watch your favorite sports team and have mouth-watering pizza. Come on down to Moretti's Pizzeria, where you can get a pizza for half the price every Tuesday. Try out our delicious varieties of pizza, sandwiches, and much more. I don't know about you, but a gooey mac and cheese pizza with a size of cheesy mozzarella sticks and watching sports sounds like paradise to me. Stop by at one of our 12 locations near you. We're open 7 days a week, anywhere from 10:30 a.m. to midnight. Visit our website, Moretti'sRestaurants.com, for delivery, catering, and even private parties. Moretti's, we bring the fun.
Get money for that old car sitting in your driveway today. No more insurance payments. No more playing taxi for your friends and your family. More room in your garage with Winning Auto Wrecker. Winning Auto Wrecker comes directly to you and takes that problem car away and off your hands. Call anytime, day or night at 888-555-0910. Or go to winningautorex.com and we will take that junk off your hands in no time. You win, we win with Winning Auto Wreckers.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter with your host, Andrew DeBrooker.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter, everybody. Today we have had such a good show talking about a bunch of losers. And so
living in a van down by the river.
Yeah. You don't understand. These are the teams that we think won the draft. That's what we're going to be talking about now. Things about winners. We're going to be talking about winners. Winners, winners, and winners. And then we'll go back
And
to
chicken dinner?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Now go home and get your shine box.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe give me a little Chicky Sammy. Give me a little Chicky Sammy. Everything will be all fine.
Hey, man, you're making me hungry.
Yeah, I mean, you're making me hungry. You brought up food first, and now I'm going to swing it into another food conversation, kind of, sort of.
Nice. Food.
Last name Dunker. Ring a bell? Beautiful mullet. Now a wonderful guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I miss the Dunkers. Mr. Dunkaroos.
Some of those O-linemen, especially that have been coming out recently, have just had really interesting mullets.
The facial hair and the mullet, like the long hair, is always something that makes me buy into you as a prospect for no reason as a big man.
You
especially if you're a baseball player.
Oh yeah,
like of course. I mean, we could do a whole show on. Actually, that sounds like a good side show.
Yeah.
Is the great hair of sports.
Oh my
The
goodness.
great hair
The
of sports.
great hair
I
of
love it.
sports. And we could do like we could do like a Final Four bracket with 64. And we could pat
I'm
the
telling you
sports
what.
up against
I'm
it.
telling you
This
what.
may
There'd be
seem
some.
like a
There'd be
thing.
some good. There should be some good hair in all of
I love
sports.
me some hair.
Yeah. Look at so I guess look out for our hair bracket. We might end up going and looking into that.
What do you mean the bull cut didn't make the tournament?
Oh gosh.
What do you mean baldness didn't make it?
Yeah. Old Hoss Radborn and his
male pattern baldness.
and his curly mustache are going to be #1 overall.
Nice.
Yes.
The Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's yes.
Brother.
We're getting sidetracked.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, did you guys see the American Hero documentary yet on
No.
Netflix? I'm gonna go check that out.
No, I haven't seen that either.
It just came out.
But Pittsburgh found its receiver. They
Yeah.
thought it was Mackay Lemon, and told him that he would be the pick. If you haven't seen that video, very interesting. With what happened there, the Eagles ended up trading up and snatching Mackay Lemon right out of the Steelers' hands. But I'm kind of viewing it as a blessing in disguise for Pittsburgh. I mean, based on his behavior at combine interviews, there was a lot of things going on about him. I don't really buy into that. But I think that Maxi Hanachor provides an upgrade to the offensive line, and he's going to kick Broderick Jones into probably inside into guard. And even if that doesn't work, the man that I mentioned earlier, Mr. Jennings Dunker and his mullet, he could be a major upgraded guard. I thought he was a steal at 96.
The Great Wall of Mullet.
Absolutely. Let's start making it down there in Pittsburgh. And then they found the receiver in Jeremy Bernard in the second round, and I think Bernard was much better value there, and they won't really have to worry about weird antics. And I thought that they did a great job. I really don't like the Drew Allard pick because you use a third-round pick on a quarterback that is a major prospect, but I feel and has a great arm, but I feel really can't read the field at all. I feel like based on how the draft unfolded, granted this isn't some hindsight, that they could have just waited several rounds for Garrett Nussmeier, and I just don't think that that's enough to ding them very much because I feel like it was a very positive class for Pittsburgh.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sorry about that.
Sorry?
I was just gonna say, am I in the negative or do I sound like a crazy person if I think that the first round, unless you have like a generational talent, I would stick with positions that I would not select cornerback. You know what I mean? I'm not drafting cornerbacks. I don't really like the idea of drafting safeties. I'm sticking with offensive linemen. I'm sticking with defensive linemen and edge rushers. You know, in my mind, or if it's like the top 10, like a quarterback, a generational talent, that type of thing, or maybe a running back or something, maybe a wide receiver if you're stretching it. But it just irks my insides when I see teams using first round picks on that type of stuff.
On like corners and safeties
corners
and things like that?
safeties and position players like that like are, I don't know, man, they're just so hit and miss.
One thing I do gotta say, and there's 2 points I want to make here. The first point is that with who do you have at QB if Rodgers doesn't come back? That's one big issue.
Oh, that's a fun thing.
And then if you do bring him back, then you got Drew Aller learning behind Aaron Rodgers, who is a Hall of Fame quarterback. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, especially again drafting Drew Aller where he was, you could consider him a good valued pick. And with the way his playing style is, it could potentially work out in Pittsburgh. My second point, Garrett Nussmeier going to the Chiefs is just crazy to me. For the value that he was taken at, especially for the Kansas City Chiefs, I personally can't believe he fell that far.
It's a solid backup. It is what it is.
Oh yeah.
But just to kind of, I guess, part of me doesn't want to echo what Nick was saying about corners and safeties in the first round of the draft, and part of me thinks that he is speaking the absolute truth. And I'm not really sure which side of the ball to be on right now because I really like Mansour Delane and I really like Sonny Styles. I like Tiananmen. Like those are great prospects, but like also going into like past NFL drafts and things like that, it realistically recently we haven't seen a guy get taken incredibly high up. Except for, I would say, like a Sauce Gardner would be, and for Seattle. But Lots of players still available.
And Bijan was taken 7th.
I think I but I 8th. But go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say that I was looking at stats about the draft and trying to find players who were projected to go lower, who fell and were picked up at a good value later on in the draft. And by position, percentage wise, a lot of those outside players, cornerbacks, linebackers, safeties, fell as compared to other. So I think that statistic shows that in general the teams are kind of thinking along that line.
Yeah, and even I think another one that kind of stands out to me, just kind of basing it off of this year's draft class.
Sorry, my bad. But the one I was thinking was Jeff Okudah. Maybe just because I'm just upset because they took him.
All right,
3rd overall.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it's because I'm a Lion.
That's the only reason you're bringing Jeff Okudah.
Right, that's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
Oh, no, that's unfair.
Man, that sucks.
Oh man,
it sucks because he's right.
Well, it only happens a few times a year.
Don't make me start bringing up Will Johnson.
Oh God, don't do that.
Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, both of you guys have had busts, but I just want to be perfectly clear. Alabama has had no. I'm kidding.
Don't make us start.
AJ McCarron existed. Okay, AJ McCarron existed.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, I know. He's kind of cheeks. But
now that I'm looking at the draft class from last year, and I was like, oh, let me
That's interesting.
list here and check in on some safeties and corners, where they were taken, if I would have taken them there still. I mean, one thing for me is I thought Malachi Starks out of Georgia was like a home run pick for the Ravens last year, and he was terrible. God, he was awful. And I mean,
thank God.
Just to even further that, like, I mean, the Seattle waits till all the way till 35 to draft Nick Emanwari, and he's been unbelievably amazing in his career. He was runner-up in Rookie of the Year last year, but
I always love those diamond in the rough picks, man.
I mean, that's the top of the second round, but it's more so on the fact of, like, kind of how Nick was talking, positional value within the first round.
I think you're going to see Carnell Tate be a spectacular wide receiver.
I appreciate you saying that because I agree. I agree.
Give him that pat on the back yourself, my man.
Well, I'm going to whoop him in a few minutes, so I want to so lull him into a false sense of security.
He's like, don't worry, we're friends. Wham!
Wolverines don't eat nuts.
Hey man, I'm just sitting on the side over here. I'm the ref.
Well, Adam,
what is a Crispin Tide anyway? Come on, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I know what it is, but it's silly. It's silly, right?
Why is it an elephant? Talk to us, Adam. What's going on?
Talk to us.
I mean, we're not like Auburn. They have War Eagle and they got a tiger.
Yeah, you're here.
But that's a classic thing. If someone attacks you, be like, no, but he's weaker than I am.
But those guys over there.
I don't have to run faster than the lion. I just got to beat you.
Alabama's the game is the Iron Bowl. And the Iron Bowl is actually pretty intense every year too.
You been?
Huh?
You been?
I've been to those tailgates. I've actually never been to the. No, I've been to the basketball Iron Bowl.
I mean, the tailgate's that's the fun
basketball
part.
Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
Please stop talking.
I'd say, hey. It technically counts because even in basketball, it counts.
If you have to say it technically counts, it doesn't count.
It's like when you go to your guys. And
I've been to a tailgate though. Yeah. Those are phenomenal.
Oh, dude, you've been to Ole Miss tailgate? I hear that's really cool.
I've heard stories about people going to those tailgates.
I think it'd be kind of fun.
They said those were one of the most fun in the SEC.
The Rebels. Yeah, the Rebels, and just realistically looking at you mentioned something that was going to let me segue here.
Nice.
You talked about pointing at teams and being like, but we're not them over there. And normally that would be the Cleveland Browns. Normally the Cleveland Browns are the team where it's like, well, it could be worse. We could be the Cleveland Browns, but
I mean, Detroit used to be that, but that would be hey, at least I wasn't born in Detroit.
And now Cleveland has like turned
the mistake on the lake.
Yeah, they've turned it into great draft decisions. Like, I thought that they had 3 picks in the top 39. I thought they drilled every single one of them. I thought that Casey Concepcion, I think he's probably the 4th best wide receiver in this entire class. getting Denzel Boston. I mean, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at 58 is a crime. It's a crime that you're allowing a Cleveland defense that was electric all across the board to add another player that is definitely of high starting caliber.
Denzel Boston.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm super. I think the Browns got the. If I was a Village person, I'd be the A because that's what I'm giving them.
Yeah.
An A for the draft. I
Absolutely.
think they drafted the best of anybody. I mean, they had some good places, but just because you have a good place doesn't mean you're going to draft
you're going to
good.
pick
It doesn't
correctly.
mean you actively do good.
Absolutely.
I like what they're doing mainly because they're starting to make the offense a little more versatile, a little more dynamic. Because if you, again, I've always said this, and this is pretty much football 101. If you only pass it to one wide receiver, your offense is way too predictable.
Yeah,
I mean, look
Jerry
at
Judy's got to be, very happy now.
Oh, are you kidding me? He can go down to number 2 because he's really good at number 2 receiver. Because, I mean, when he had Cortland Sutton, it was those two.
Have Denzel play the X.
Exactly. And then you have Casey Concepcion, like, on the,
I love that. By the way, I love that his name has to be said that way. I love names like
great.
like it have like you can't see Casey Concepcion. It's Casey
Right.
Concepcion. Like, oh yeah. I'm not gonna be able to scream that if I'm excited. So I'll just be like, "You great job, Casey." Yeah,
that guy over there.
that one dude down there.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but am I the only one who thinks Miami is the winner because of their draft picks? Holy crap! They stretch. I do say they did stretch a little bit out for Caden Proctor. That was a bit of a stretch.
Okay,
but then they go to Chris Johnson, who I think might be a good quarterback. Then you go and get Jacob Rodriguez.
All right, so some of the worst teams in the league. Now we know that in football, if you do bad in the league, right, you draft higher. Yeah. So right, if you the idea is if you're bad, then you get better players, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it doesn't happen because you look at New England, that they were so good for so long like that. So what do you think about some of the worst teams the recent years and how they've managed to try to move themselves forward? Like the ear test in the worst team in the league, just off the top of your head, the past couple of years, either Carolina or the Jets, in my mind. Something like
it's
that.
the Jets.
The Jets. How do you think they did on their draft? I think they did pretty. I think they did okay.
Do I feel bad for the picks? Oh, absolutely. But
especially be such a big market, you think that'd be great. I'm going to a New York market, like it'd be like LA or New York, but
for a guy for Woody Johnson, for a man who's owned the team for a long period of time, to have to go through like several different regimes, I think if there was a draft for a new owner, they should probably be first overall in that draft. The coaching hasn't been there. The high upper management has been some of the worst I have seen in God knows how long.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're trying to kind of hit the reset on everything, and they're also trying to make it to where they're trying to change the narrative. But it just
changing culture in the NFL is not easy, like you're saying.
No,
trying to
not
change
at
the
all.
narrative.
Oh, especially with the owner that they have right now. He's just garbage.
Yeah.
Woody.
Yeah, Woody Johnson's garbage. If you're listening to this, Woody, you're kind of crap.
That's hilarious.
Hey,
if we're gonna rail on the owners, do you guys remember that take when they showed the Cowboys draft room? Jerry Jones looked like he's about turning to dust.
I really
was
like
everyone's like giving him a hug, hugging him, and like giving him a hand, pat him on the back, knocking him over.
Like their draft. I really like the Cowboys draft.
Are you American team guy? Or America's team kind of guy?
I was raised by a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Okay.
I
remember that in your blood.
Yeah, not particularly. I think it's kind of annoying. I think I'm more so tired of them. I'm more so tired of Jerry. You know what I mean? I don't have any hate towards the Cowboys. Cowboys have never done anything in my life to make me hate them.
Right.
Like
I could say a lot for one of my buddies who lives in Dallas. Right?
I just think that Jerry,
in Texas in general, yeah, they've done a lot of bad things.
Oh, yeah.
But Caleb Downs, Malachi Lawrence, Jashai Barham, Devin Moore, I think realistically I'd rate all of those B or better. They had to improve their defense. That's exactly what they did. It wasn't a perfect draft, but I feel like by Jerry Jones standards, he had a good weekend.
All right, you're supposed to nail the first round pick no matter what, right? What do you think about Raiders Fernando Mendoza? You like that?
That's TBD for me, only because me and Drew over here were just talking about how he has the ceiling to be Derek Carr, like almost MVP Derek Carr. Drew said that, and I can't exactly disagree with that.
He's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, I realistically think at like the low like the low end of Fernando Mendoza. It's like he's Joe Flacco with mobility. But when we come back, we will talk about the game and get real loud here on the fifth quarter.
South Chicago sports for sure. SportsSouthChicago.com.
It's the summer of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. To reach peak summer mode, you need your summer coffee. Like a smooth new s'mores frozen Dunkin' coffee, a refreshing butter pecan iced coffee, or a sweet coconut cream pie cold brew. What could be better than an iced or frozen coffee on a hot summer day? Nothing. Dunkin' Donuts has all your favorite flavors this summer. So come enjoy the summer of coffee and keep cool out there, kids. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
When car dealers fight for your business, you win. AutoJudo.com makes car buying fun by letting dealers compete for your business live. Real-time Auto Judo fights are the fast and easy new way to get multiple dealers' best offer on any car you want. It's free and anonymous. Only the dealer you select as the winner of your Auto Judo fight receives your contact info. You're never obligated to buy. So test drive your best deals now at AutoJudo.com. Dealers fight, you say.
Yo, 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 check it out. We got the finest pizza in all the land. Italian Fiesta is on deck, and I'm telling you, it's a hit. These pies don't miss. No matter what time you get the munchies. Pepperoni, extra cheese, turkey Italian sausage, they got all the toppings. Italian Fiesta delivers until midnight during the week and 1 a.m. on the weekends. Plus, you can use your Uber Eats or Grubhub if you got the app. And if you ain't rocking with the pizza that night, try one of their sandwiches or pasta. And they have plenty of side dishes, just like me, if you know what I mean. Hop online and go to ItalianFiesta.com or call 773-684-2222. Piece of pizza, that is.
There's only one place to watch your favorite sports team and have mouth-watering pizza. Come on down to Moretti's Pizzeria, where you can get a pizza for half the price every Tuesday. Try out our delicious varieties of pizza, sandwiches, and much more. I don't know about you, but a gooey mac and cheese pizza with a size of cheesy mozzarella sticks and watching sports sounds like paradise to me. Stop by at one of our 12 locations near you. We're open 7 days a week, anywhere from 10:30 a.m. to midnight. Visit our website, Moretti'sRestaurants.com, for delivery, catering, and even private parties. Moretti's, we bring the fun.
Did you know that Club New in Aurora is the ultimate entertainment complex? Monday nights, it's free football and darts in the sports bar. Tuesday night is league night. Join the pool and darts team. Wednesday night is ladies' night at Club New. All the ladies get in free. Gentlemen pay a $5 cover after 9 p.m. Thursday night starts the weekend off right with college flashback night. Low-price drinks, retro music, and an awesome buffet. Friday and Saturday night, it's the hottest dance club in the suburbs. Club New Nightclub and Sports Bar is located at 2121 New York Street in Aurora.
You've tried the it places, but they leave you hungry with an empty wallet. That's where Gretel comes in. They got what you really want. Visit their chic, lounge-like gastropub and try one of Chicago's top burgers, the Gretel Griddle Burger. The house-made bun and garlic aioli set this one apart from the rest. And don't miss half-price oysters, 4 to 6, Monday through Thursday. With rotating drafts, craft cocktails, and portions that don't skimp. This is one of Logan Square's best-kept secrets. Monday through Thursday, 11 to midnight. Friday and Saturday, open till 1. 2833 West Armitage. Gretel, let's make this a night. Visit GretelChicago.com for menu and more.
Back to your home for sports. Here's your SportsSoundChicago.com.
It is 3:58. I'm Andrew DeBrooker. This is your SportsTownChicago.com update, brought to you by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. The NFL offseason officially moves into its next phase following last week's draft. Rookie minicamps begin in the coming days. Undrafted free agents are being signed, and teams are going to start evaluating depth charts ahead of organized team activities later this spring. In the NBA's Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons host the Orlando Magic in Game 4. Orlando leads the series 2-1 and can take a commanding edge with a road win tonight. In another East matchup, Boston has moved within a win of advancing, holding on to a 3-1 series over the Philadelphia 76ers. Out west, the Oklahoma City Thunder have dominated early and will try to finish off a sweep of the Phoenix Suns tonight. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Timberwolves look to eliminate the Denver Nuggets, leading their series 3-1. Tip-off for that matchup comes late tonight. The men's transfer portal window has officially closed, and this year set records with more than 2,700 D1 players entering the portal. Power programs across the country continue to reload as roster movement reshapes the national landscape following Michigan's national championship earlier this month. The spring also marks the first year with no spring transfer portal window in college football, a change designed to stabilize rosters and allow teams to compete spring practice without fear of mid-cycle departures. Stanley Cup playoffs are also heating up with several first-round series approaching decision time in the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Flyers lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2, and the Sabres are 1 win away from eliminating the Boston Bruins. The other series remain tied, setting up dramatic finishes across both conferences as teams chase the Stanley Cup. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update, brought to you by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to BeyondAir.com.
One of the great rivalries in all of college sports. We are ready for D-Day.
Crack open a beer and spread some cheers. The fifth quarter is back.
Spoiler, watch out! Old school Big Ten football.
Welcome back in to the fifth quarter, and this is going to be a special segment that we are going to be talking about the game. We are going to be talking history of the game. We're going to kind of talk about some college football preview for both the Michigan Wolverines, boo, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Just two of the most storied franchises in all of sport. Lots of hate between the two franchises and between the two teams. But this won't be anything like that. This is just going to be some friendly banter. Surely nobody will get upset.
Oh, I would never be upset.
Everything is going to be
I wouldn't be
fine.
upset either, right?
It's just a game. It's just a game. Yeah, I couldn't be upset as an Alabama fan around a couple of Big Ten guys.
Hey, you know what? The SEC is reffing this show right now.
That's right. Yeah, I want to thank Adam for putting this little shindig together. I'm sure this will probably be a couple-part series because once we get going, there'll be no stopping this gravy train of a spectacular talk.
You know that every single week that goes on, where it's going to lead closer and closer, it's going to be like, maybe we should have Nick on again. Maybe Nick's got to come on again. It might be time to talk Michigan versus Ohio State. And
for anyone watching, I apologize for the
go right ahead.
For anyone watching this show, or for who
the refs enter up all the time, right? I mean,
yeah, right.
The refs are on the show.
I'm gonna give you both 5-yard penalties. But
That's right.
if you guys, for whoever's watching or whoever will watch this video in the future, let us know in the comments if you want to have more rivalry shows, especially when college football season starts coming up. We could have Nick come back on again. You're gonna know you already have Drew and you got myself. And we could have more college previews, and again, have it more fun, have it more of a rivalry kind of conversation. Give our picks. But that's a ways away. Back to you, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it first. I think I'm going to be very kind and give Nick.
Oh, you're deferring the kick. He's going to defer the kick.
Kicking with the wind. I'm kicking with the wind.
Oh, interesting.
I want the ball to start the second half. So I'm going to go ahead and send it over your way. I kind of just talking about Michigan and their upcoming season. If you wanted to talk about some of the history behind it, or and maybe about how Michigan leads the series.
That's a classic move, right? Because now he took my hand, he's so gracious. Oh, the classic Ohio way too. He's feeding you. Oh, this is malarkey. Come on, man. All right, you see what he's doing, taking my feet off in front of me. You know he's got to start with that, of course, that Michigan owns the overall rivalry. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. But, the game, my friend's been played 121 times. Michigan, of course, leads 52-6. The first meeting in 1897, Michigan won that as well, 34-0. Now, the latest meeting of the incarnation, I'm sure he'll mention that, was an old-fashioned drubbing of a Michigan team playing against an Ohio State team that it was coming off of a loss the previous year that nobody thought was going to happen, let alone Michigan fans.
One of the worst days of my life.
Which goes to show that the game, throw the records out the windows, folks. I mean, you say that for some rivalries, but this is one of those rivalries where truly the record means jack diddly doodly when it comes down to this.
They're out for blood, bro. They are out for blood.
It is pretty spectacular.
And I'll say this as someone who has no reason to even say anything about the game.
Right.
I love college football. It is a fantastic sport. The last game, and this is actually a fun little fact, the last game I watched the game that I watched as a Bama student was Michigan winning 13-10.
That
was my last.
Nice.
That was my last game watching the game as a Bama student.
Yeah, it's just great. Well, we'll have you relive that memory maybe later.
That's
I guess.
awesome.
It was just a
So,
shocker.
I went into some of these things, and we could talk about the season moving forward with Bryce Underwood. Just a couple weeks ago, it was the spring games for both Ohio State and Michigan. I watched both of them. Ohio State went out there; they showed a lot of offense, and then Michigan went out there. It was 7-6, and like I always say, defense wins titles. So that's
As
that's
an
my
Ohio
excuse
State
for
fan
that.
who just had our most recent title carried by a defensive front,
Oh man,
sold.
That was cute too. Yeah, being able to win a title without beating Michigan that year, I like that. Very nice. But of course, Michigan had the record of longest, best record ever until Indiana, of all people or of all schools, went 16-0 this past year. So that's pretty spectacular. Michigan Stadium, 107,601 people, aka the Big House, Ohio Stadium. The Horseshoe, it's an interesting place. 102,000. So you might want to build
Some
more
of the angriest people known to man.
some of the we could talk. Yeah, I man, they are pretty mean. Like okay. What do you think about this? The shirts when you go into a family atmosphere, are the ones that say "F Michigan." You know, like I don't like it when people do that type of stuff. You know, it's a family atmosphere. I agree with the rivalry and the intense atmosphere. Even around here, we're getting excited.
Yes.
You could feel the atmosphere before the show was coming on.
Absolutely.
People were getting excited. Everyone is. But both universities, they spend so much money on football as well as other things outside the sports world.
Mhm.
And that is one thing I really love about Big Ten and SEC schools. You can't lose the sight that it is a game at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I hate to intervene and make it sound like this, but you've been spending most of your money on coaches that have been through bad things.
Oh man, I knew this was gonna happen.
Jim Harbaugh,
Oh, God.
he left and he's like, what's what? No, he just went to the Chargers,
Yeah.
and then you got Sharon Moore, who is like, I'm gonna break into your house.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we spend all this money in the new NIL world, which I don't know if I really agree with the way that they're doing
I
that.
hate it.
It's not a sustainable thing. I mean, and it's frustrating because I was all for paying students. Like the NCAA makes so much
Yeah.
money off these kids busting their bodies for them,
Oh yeah.
But and especially with CTE and what we know about the brain damage that happens when you play the sport of football, it's just frustrating. When you see these kids getting so much money, they don't teach them how to budget.
Yeah, and like a lot of the times too, just to kind of make on that point, it's because it's the Wild West. It's because you have no governing body. You have nothing to look over the fact. And when you allow these agents who these snakes really to whisper in the ears
Right.
of some of these high school guys and say, "Oh, I'll give you $300K, or I'll give you this, or I'll give you that." I mean, even last year we had the situation at University of Las Vegas, UNLV, where their starting quarterback said, "Hey, I'm not playing the rest of the season." Everybody said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, they offered me $600,000 in NIL money. I'm currently working a part-time job just to keep the lights on at my apartment, and
Right.
I was supposed to get $600K." And then when the I believe, I don't remember which casino owner it was, an owner of a casino, former UNLV grad, came out and said, "I will pay you the $600K right now,
Right.
front up front." And the
The dirty-
NCAA says, "Nah, he's not allowed to because of." And you're like, okay, so if he would have quietly instead of publicly gone to the University of Las Vegas, told the University of Las Vegas and this kid's agent, "Hey, no, I got the $600,000 for you,"
Right.
would we have ever heard about it?
Probably not.
Probably not ever. No.
Yeah, it
And for
feels
everyone that
sleazy.
we have heard about, there's like probably 100,000 that we have not heard
For-
about. Like
absolutely
guarantee. I mean, it's
Mhm.
how the beast runs. But we'll move along the lines of the rivalry, my friends, because I have to say this: I love the fact that it's always at noon.
Oh, big yep.
In a day in
Big
today.
noon kickoff, like your
That's
hat.
right. Oh wait, I forgot. Screw these guys. We got to put Michigan hat on. This hat right here is my pin hat, the one where I get a pin from every game. A pin. This is my pin hat where I get a pin from every game that we go away game we go to that we win. Of course, riding home after a road loss is one of the worst things you can do as a sports fan.
Yes.
You know, it takes guts and glory to take the risk to go on that road trip, spend the money, take the time, do whatever you do, want to go out there and put up with the opposing fans. You know, some of the nicest fans, the Penn State fans are really nice. Happy Valley, some great people out there.
At the end of the day, if you lose, it feels like you wasted your money.
Right. I've been to Iowa City a couple times. We've gone home a loser. That was not fun. East Lansing, that was not fun. They kicked a punt. Oh, my God. I don't know if you remember. You might not remember that game if you're not a Michigan fan, but one of Harbaugh's team, they didn't have they didn't have a gunner, so they didn't stop the rush, and they blocked the punt. It was the last
Jackson.
Okay, so they know what they're talking about.
On the last play of the game.
All right, so he said that I didn't want to have to bring this up, but he mentioned some negative things about Michigan or alumni.
Oh, here we go.
But hey,
ding.
Let's talk about this right here. Let me lay the situation for you. The year 1978.
Oh boy.
The fall of 1978. Multiple murders. Young women found dead. By who? Oh, an enrolled student at Ohio State University. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my God!
That's right.
I'm like, man, Colson Loveland, he's a bear now, so I'll look past the Michigan thing. Nick's like, you remember when Jeffrey Dahmer went to Ohio State University?
And now I know they're gonna claim foul and say, but it's got to be football related, man. Maurice Claret. Mike drop.
Yikes!
For those of you that don't know,
and I guess you know, I'll do the.
It's not as bad as sorry, I didn't mean to build. I just gotta say this real quick. Is Plaxico Burress bringing a loaded gun and shooting himself in the leg.
Oh
Come on,
man, that's really tough. I guess I'll pull the Eminem and 8 Mile move and just start saying a whole bunch of things. Terrell Pryor and a whole bunch of other guys also sold their national championship rings for tattoos. Shout out them. That was cool.
True.
Urban Meyer hid domestic abuse from the strength coach for a good 3 years.
Oh, you used to have to say Jim Harbaugh and everything he did.
Until our strength coach got down.
He was part of it.
Let's just say that the behind the scenes of
Jim
the game,
Tressel.
All right.
Oh, good Lord. Well, how about we do this one, friends? Since he's gracious enough to rip on himself. Hey, I'm one in Rome, right, boys?
Yeah.
How about this? The Unabomber, Ten Kaczynski, earned a master's degree in 1964 and a PhD in 67 for mathematics at the university. So if you want to know how he built that bomb, go blue. And don't forget, if you're willing to kill yourself, you don't have to go to Canada. You can just call up Dr. Jack Kevorkian, who also has a Michigan medical degree on his wall.
This went from insulting each other to like insulting each other yourself.
Yeah.
You guys are like, well, this guy went
self-deprecation
to my
never hurt
school.
anybody.
Well, why don't we go the opposite direction and talk about some of the best people to come out of the universities?
Oh.
Well, what's your Goliath? If we were going to play the one, maybe we could do that in the next segment. But I got some people lining up. You know, like I got Desmond Howard and Charles Woodson.
I think
Aiden
Archie.
Hutchinson.
I think the only ever college football player to ever win back-to-back Heisman's in Archie Griffin would be our.
That's pretty. Yeah,
would
you
be
get,
our,
dude.
like,
That's
the peak
sick.
Of Buckeye.
What do you
lore.
think about Kirk Herbstreit at the Michigan spring game wearing only dark blue?
Yeah, so
and his wife sporting the old beaver.
I have gone both ways on Kirk. So I originally, through most of my life, hated Kirk Herbstreit because you are nobody else. Like you mentioned, Desmond. Desmond gets up on the front of a big game, and they do all of that stuff for pregame for college football, and he openly says how much he loves Michigan. And he praises Michigan, and he rides for him, and everybody knows he went to Michigan, and so we just do that. Kirk is like Ohio State's biggest critic. Instead of being our champion on the like panel, he is just instead like, you know what, Des, I agree. I don't think Ryan Day has what it takes, and it's like, back us up here, dude. And now he keeps tweeting out because for those unaware, his son is now attending Michigan University.
He's looking to be the third string quarterback at U of M.
Quarterback, and Kirk Herbstreit is a former quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
So if you thought if your dad didn't like what you do,
yeah, and now he's playing the I'm really proud of everybody, regardless of rivalry. And I'm
come
like,
on,
dude, you're
dude.
going to fence sit Michigan, Ohio State?
Dude, yeah. As an announcer that's fenced it his whole life.
Yeah.
When, like you said, he plays that role, but if you pay attention deep, and I'm sure you've seen it every once in a while, that he will play the homer card.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But he'll act like he's not. But then at other
That's-
times, he'll like dig
that's
in at
the
Ohio State, so he
frustrating
can be like, but look, I ripped on Ohio State over here. I'm doing it
distances
evenly.
himself, and then he's like, don't worry, I'm the only one publicly speaking for you.
He's pulling Mr. Burns just there.
This is. I'll say this in terms of college football rivalries. This is also known again as the game. There is not a middle. There is either your Ohio State or your Michigan.
Oh, you don't root for both teams to have a good time.
Those stupid jerseys where it's like half Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, you say
That's illegal.
Like
That
the
needs
half
to go.
Michigan, half
Go.
Michigan State. That you
Yeah.
can't have them to half Michigan, half
Burn it.
Ohio State. Oh God,
Burn
I think the two things would touch, and like have you
The
guys seen
seams-
Oppenheimer?
yeah, the
You've seen
seams
Oppenheimer,
just
right? When they
slip
split the atom.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you have the Michigan and Ohio State flag merged together.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! And some
It
of the
sounds sacrilegious.
It'd be dude. When I got my tattoo, or when I got my surgery, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. When I got my surgery, I had a Ohio State grad do my surgery, and when he stitched my back back together, my tattoo was lopsided, so a dude couldn't even breathe or couldn't even read right.
so I'll say this.
And then I got a staph infection.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god!
So I bet he did it on purpose, sitting there with a little needle.
Well,
Oh, are you a Michigan fan? A
as-
little
as-
staph infection in there.
As Cardell Jones said, former Ohio State great and national champion, we come here to play football. We don't come here to do sport.
Oh,
we
that
don't
was
come here to play school.
Yeah, as he goes over there and stuffs a flag on the big block M in the middle. How about that rivalry?
Yeah.
Shove it. What do you think on that? What is your take on that? You like that? That they're not allowed to do that anymore?
I hate planting the flag.
Oh, you don't like the thing in
Like-
general.
Baker Mayfield did that to you guys, didn't he?
You shut your
Baker Mayfield.
That's funny.
He's another one of those guys where it's like, I hated you for so long, but damn, you got that dog in you. Like, it's overly frustrating that I have to root for you as a character now because I remember you crotch grabbing at a bunch of cancer patients in Kansas. Like that does not escape me, Baker.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't, but like kind of. Wait, sorry to answer Nick's question here before you go ahead.
Yeah,
I can't stand the flag planting in the first place. I don't. It only causes issues. Nobody is ever like. There's never a good time that happens after a flag plant. Like when Baker did the flag plant, like Nick Bosa dislocated his shoulder. So like there are multiple times where it's like, oh, we're gonna flag plant, and it's like, okay, we're gonna see you later.
In the
like
hospital.
This isn't the last. Well, that's the thing. The flag plant for Michigan and Ohio State. The last time that happened, it ended up in pepper spray.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, they're going at it like
Yep.
that with, and that's why they got rid of it, of course.
Yeah, because you can't be pepper. You can't have mass crowd control over two teams over
the
a
game.
flag. Like,
Well, you're gonna end up whining and be like those games in like in Africa where they have the soccer matches, and like you have like full fan bases that are like fighting each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and in Europe, like in Europe, like they love their soccer, football. They
Yeah.
call it football. So.
And also, I'll say this something about rivalry games. I'll say a little story here because I think I told you guys off the show that I went to the game where Carson Beck threw an interception to Xavier Brown. It was it the Ryan Williams game where he got the game when he. So, speaking of rivalries, kind of going off of that, let's just say Georgia Bulldogs are not the friendliest people in the world.
Oh God, the Georgia
And
Bulldogs.
When I was
can
walking
agree with you
down,
on
they
that.
were saying some profanities I cannot say.
They
on
bark at
live.
you all the time. They go like,
Yeah, I just say go back, go.
He hates that.
I hate that. I said
You got a bunch of guys saying "Roll Tide, Roll Tide,
well,
Roll
and
Tide."
at the end of the day, all I say is go back to Athens, you furries. That's all.
Right, nice.
That's all I say. But there was actually a particular moment in that game when Ryan Williams actually caught the ball. I was at Bryant Denny Stadium that day.
Nice.
He caught the ball, and when prior to that, Georgia caught up and was winning the game, and they were barking at us like they normally do. But then when we scored the Bama fans barked back.
Oh, nice. I love it.
The Bama fans, including myself, were like, "Oh, yeah, huh? You like that? Go back to the pound."
Yeah.
But kind of going back to what I'm saying, this, the game and, other rivalry games, those are not fence-sitting games. Like you have like Tulane and, USF, for example. It doesn't matter for those because it's not like too big of a rivalry. But Michigan, Ohio State, if I ever see a jersey that is half and half, I'm taking it and I'm burning it. That's illegal.
right.
That's illegal.
Ever since about the 1960s, it's been a rivalry ever since Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes, Woody Hayes, the 10 Years War. There's a great book out there. Every Michigan, Ohio State fan should read it. The 10 Years War. It's a history. It's a history of Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler. It's pretty spectacular. But
you want to know how all of this started.
Right, yeah. And if you want to get all
go back there.
down the nitty-gritty, Bo was Woody, just real quick, he was one of his assistants. It was like a classic case of Darth Vader, right? Like he betrayed himself, And so anyway, but he won the first game, against Ohio State, and that started, man. And Woody Hayes, if there was one man that you didn't want to be on the bad side of or argue with, it was Woody Hayes. Because there are mass amounts of situations where he has gotten violent with his own players, let alone the opposite team. I want to think about, we were talking about the different things that that the teams do to get under the other team's skin. When Ohio State got their revenge and Michigan got their comeuppance in 2025, Brutus still was able to cross out the M in the end zone and replace it with an O. So, where there's a will, there is a way, and where there's a Buckeye, there's a nut.
Yeah, I think so.
That's good.
And a strange-looking leaf.
That's right.
I don't know where.
And if you want to really understand where this really goes back to, you got to learn about the Toledo War. Yes, that's right. Because Michigan was trying to become a state, and Ohio had already become a state, and the congressional corruption, they didn't want Michigan to become a state. Yeah, and so they tried to steal Toledo.
No way.
It was very rude. It was obnoxious, and it proves that Ohioans are corrupt to the core, and they've been doing it since they've been a state.
Don't look at me. I just ate at the Waffle House as a student.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's the good stuff, though.
That
well,
is.
I
we
guess
can agree on that.
I have one final thing that I wanted to bring up because my dad said something to me when we won the national championship the year that Michigan beat us, and he kind of proposed me a hypothetical. So I'm gonna kind of swing it back to you. If Michigan won the national title every year, I'm talking the rest of your God-given life, Michigan wins the national title, but they never beat Ohio State again. Could you live with that?
No, of course not. That's silliness. Now, are you going to give me the other side of that question?
I mean,
where it's now, if you beat Ohio State every
you'd
year,
never
but
win
you
a national
never win a
title
national
again?
title, would you be okay with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be too, probably.
Okay, so
although when I was at the Michigan national title game in Houston, I went and I was there with my dad and my sister, and as Donovan Edwards was running down the field for one of his touchdowns, I was grabbing my dad's shoulders and I was screaming, "This is awesome! Oh my God,
this is amazing!"
I was like, I don't care if we lose the next 5 years and Harbaugh leaves, I'm good with it. So if you ask me this question at the national title game as the confetti's about to fall, I could trade a lot of things for a national title, especially because the last one that happened was in '97, and my dad went to that one, and so we kind of tried to recreate it a little bit.
That's
but
cool.
30 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of like football. But then, of course, there's teams that never even ever win a national title ever.
Yeah.
So props to some of these teams that are coming up.
Well, you got some proclaimed title winners like Utah back in 2008.
Or don't say Nebraska in 1997 who tried to say that, "Ooh, we're splitting this national title with Michigan."
Nope. Hey, that Osborne era was amazing for Nebraska, but they haven't licked even a playoff spot.
Yeah, and that right there is the case. If they maybe would have done something after that, you can maybe pull a little bit more, but come on, guys.
Yeah, it's a tough situation that way. Me personally, my dad surprised me. He said that he would take the national titles if he never had to be if he never beat Michigan again. And I was like,
interesting.
I mean, I understand it, but I can't get that feeling out of my heart and out of my head
Hence why
the
the game
national
is so
title
crazy.
was absolutely wonderful. It was an elating feeling to win the national championship.
Oh, against Notre Dame, it had to have been.
It was.
I had the tears streaming down my face.
It was
sure.
amazing. I mean, it's
But
been,
us beating Alabama the week before was almost, as much greater than that. That was spectacular.
You're welcome.
Sure.
Thank you.
But
Sure, yeah.
but I don't. I think I would have to take beating Michigan and never winning a national title again. I think that just fits a lot better for me personally as a fan. But thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Fifth Quarter, you guys. And with more with Nick and Adam, this is the Fifth Quarter.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
Are you ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. And